So my name is Thel. If you watched my channel for a while and talked about or know me personally, you'll know my favorite character in League is Akali. So earlier today there was a leak showing her name in the health bar of some footage. I'm not sure if it was like unedited footage or leaked, but it was a leak nonetheless. And now in an unlisted 2XO channel video, there is this. Holy crap. I'm excited. I feel. I can't explain how I feel. She looks different. I'm surprised the choices they made. Oh. Oh. My god. Okay. So, we're going in depth because that was a lot. But we got a. Is that her backdash? Is a backflip? Because that's awesome. First of all, she's got weird sneakers. Okay, so they're really leaning into that like streetwear look. I think more so than like regular, because regular collar already does that. I was gonna say the pants aren't really baggy, but they are. I think it kind of works. I think this look works. I'm coping a little because it's just something different. I'm reacting, yeah, but it looks cool still. So she has a smoke bomb teleport. She teleports to the other side. Got like a. It looks like a medium. Like me. Low. Like a follow up, and we got the rope comma, which is cool. What I expected, right? Like you have extended the comma, and oh, that looks like a jump cancel, maybe, or just like another follow up in the air and charged. That's a charged input because she's glowing red. Where you get this slash, and that looks like 2H. Which is a weird looking 2H, but I was kind of thinking the other day, how do you give Akali a 2H that looks like normal? And similar move. And whatever the f that is. The green, like, accent makes me think of Assassin's Mark, her passive. So I'm curious if this is like you build an Assassin's Mark and then can cash it out, and that's like one of the cash out moves, maybe? And then you get like that crazy hard knockdown. And then, yeah, you have like a teleport back to the ground from the air, and that looks like it hard knocks down. Like one more time, just in full motioning out. Cool as hell. Like, cool as shit. And, yeah. And then we have the art. Oh, she looks so good. She looks so good. I'm assuming that's either like intro or just like a zoom on idle or like some dynamic camera thing. I think the only gripe I have with this design, which isn't a big deal. This looks cool. This still looks amazing. But like, if we go to like Akali. So Akali's, it's specifically the mask. So the problem is that her mask is like more like a veil than a mask. Like it hangs down below. So I'm curious if the animators preferred just having a face mask, or that was just kind of a look there. They wanted to change the look because there's a lot different. Like her gloves are different, and from what we could tell, like the pack she has on her back is the same. Pants are similar but different, and she has like she has like sneakers practically, but it still works and it still looks good, and the hair is good. Tattoos, of course. The thing is, I actually am noticing now is that her tattoos aren't complete almost. There's just on the one arm. Either that's like a deliberate design choice, or is this implying that 2XKO takes place at a sooner point in the timeline? That would explain like younger Darius practically. That's kind of the only one I can think of. If I think about it now, everyone kind of checks out. Maybe Vi's slightly younger, and Caitlyn. It's hard because with like the lore front, with like what they're doing with the lore, it's kind of really unknown what's kind of going on. But The thing is, the other thing is, like, we don't know if Akali's next. Assuming this is all real and this isn't just like some elaborate ruse. We don't know if Akali's next. I don't know if Akali's next. They haven't said anything. All this is just leaks from sources and whatnot. But like, we don't know anything at all. So, like, yeah. All I could say is this looks amazing. And it is awesome to see my favorite character coming to this game. Assuming this is planned to be put in and not just thrown away. So by the end of the clip, she runs like half screen, practically. Like she starts running here, and they're still in like the hard knockdown animation. So this is gonna be a character where you get some nasty Oki. Assuming this is like valid, assuming this is viable, assuming this is what they plan to go with. Kinda hard to tell about the voice, because we've had apologies if I mispronounce her name. Christia Bejos was the rework voice, and then they had Ashley Birch do a canceled rework of the voice because she did Star Guardian. I like them both. They're both cool. And this sounds okay so far. Until we get like the gameplay trailer, which will be like a reaction, because keep in mind, I'm going this far in depth. I'm going 8 minutes for a 7-second unlisted video. I think that says a lot about what my reaction will be to a full trailer, an announcement, or what have you. But otherwise, she'll be my main. That's no surprise. But hopefully she's next. If not, we'll have to see more later. And there's more, because Sean made a post alongside 2XKO. The skill ceiling of this game is high, and that's where it's gonna stay. And then they have a picture of Akali is a great sign. Holy shit, okay. So yeah, I was wondering where the picture was gotten from in the video. I think the video will be, yeah, the video's there later. There's Senna too, okay. Anyway, next champs, okay. This is alright. Reaction content go. Okay, so we got a new post that says, what's next plus new champs. And Conkable here, a picture of Akali. Hey, Thel. Hey, Thel, you want to read this? Go ahead, here's a picture. Instant like. We wanted to give you a quick preview of what's upcoming for 2XKO, and we have made a video to talk face to face, but the team is heads down and we want to chat as soon as possible. Cool. Our team is still fully committed and working hard on 2XKO, building down on building the SGs that loves this genre. A few weeks ago, I mentioned we're focused on 3 things: duo play, core gameplay, community, and competitive programs. They are still big priorities for us moving forward, and I want to dig into them here. It's been amazing to see so many players discover how fun 2XKO with a duo can be, and we want to make that experience more accessible. We've been prototyping a local duo mode experience that'll let you and a friend play couch co-op together against the world. Would be a really good improvement and something pretty simple to add. I think that's a really good choice because duoing is really fun, and especially getting a person to play who maybe not has a Riot account or just doesn't have a console or computer to run it with. And just like saying, hey, grab a controller, let's play online, is really cool. We're still finalizing our plans for the future, but it's a top priority. We've seen the conversation about our core gameplay could or should look like in the future, and we want to clear things up. We love that 2XKO is fast-paced, allowing for your reactions and creativity to shine while providing a ton of depth to dig into. The skill ceiling of this game is high, and that's where it's going to stay. Good. We're continuing to make balance changes that hit outliers in the meta while keeping the sauce of every character at a high level. We want every champion to have a defined strengths and weaknesses, and right now that's not clear across all the cast, community, and competitive programs. We're going to push tournament organizers in our communities in more ways. The 2026 competitive schedule is going strong. Our next challenger event is Genesis X3. Community support, among other things, we're working on a program that will give local TOs access to exclusive in-game prizing, which can't be earned anywhere else. Okay. The goal is to give smaller TOs new tools, yep, and reward players for joining their local community. We're testing this with a few locals soon, and after that we'll start talking applications to join the program. We've also had a few conversations we wanted to recognize. No major updates to share on these, but here's a quick recap of what we're hearing. We're keeping an eye on the edge cases effect of fair matches in a ranked system. We've seen the conversation among console players about screen tearing. And these 2 characters are some of the sauciest in the roster. But we also want to see their weaknesses that aren't apparent enough at highest levels of play. The thing about Yasuo Echo, and I think is the issue, is they're kind of just good at everything. When I look at Alawi, Alawi's a very strong character. Alawi has a lot of range. She has a lot of big covering defensive options. She has a lot of great stuff. Really lacks mobility. When I look at Yasuo Echo, I just see kind of everything. He does less damage than most of the cast, but he still has so much. And then some of his longer combos make it not matter anyway. And Yasuo, sometimes he lacks mobility, but even then. But yeah. At the two upcoming champions, everything here is work in progress. Akali is 2xKO's next. Okay, sorry. I passed out. She's a sharp, stylish ninja who cuts opponents down with deadly precision on the video that we already saw. And then we have Senna. Ooh. Oh, cool. Interesting. So I wonder if that was Alex Jaffe talking about some interesting character development. Who wields the power of light and shadow, blasts enemies with a massive cannon, then rushes them down in a wraith form. We have a stance character. I know Yasuo has a stance, but still. Cool. And then you become Wraith form, you got a Tornado. This is kind of how I think Kindred should play, in my opinion. Like, there's like a Lamb and a Wolf form, but we'll have more to share about these two later. But in the meantime, we're looking forward to your hot takes in theory crafting. Okay, I've spent a lot of time talking to the devs and listening to players this week, and the messages of support and love you've sent mean a lot. Thank you for catching up with us, and we're looking forward to the journey ahead. See you in the lobby. So, this game has had amazing communication, and I think the strongest thing about 2xKO overall, even if it's like a flawed game or if it's too early of a game, is that the devs are so passionate about this game, and it shows, and they communicate it, and we've gotten so much. Akali looks awesome. Akali looks amazing. I'm a little too stuck on that. The duo play thing's really good, and all this is really good. I don't know, like, I personally won't be affected by this kind of stuff, just from where I am, but these were good points to address. It's good that they're communicating, I would say. Really good that they're communicating. When the trailer comes out, that's something I'm gonna make a video on. In the meantime, I would say Akali's defined by a lot of mobility options while attacking, right? Because her playstyle is very hit and run in League, and I'd consider her something similar to something like a Buki in Street Fighter, where Buki's got a lot of moves that also act as mobility. So whether it be like a sliding low to be a low priority, like slide under projectiles, and what I'm seeing here fits that. We have moves that lead into airborne states and teleport options through Smoke Bomb. Will we get the full Smoke Shroud? Maybe. The thing is, I think it's a very divisive gameplay thing in League already. I was curious if they would, because of Teemo. Teemo has invisibility. That being said, Teemo's invisibility is kind of fluff in this game. It's either you have the bush set up, which, I mean, if you have time to set up the bush for Teemo, you had the world. You had all the time in the world, essentially. It being a core mechanic for Akali, I think, would be off. Maybe it would be semi-cosmetic like Teemo's, or if you crouch an absurd amount of time, then you just turn invisible. But if it was just this is for the Smoke Shroud part for Akali, I'd fine with that. The teleport is super awesome. Granted, she does have another Smoke Bomb option in the air, which does has me wonder, like, what does that imply? Does that imply that she'll Smoke Shroud into, like, certain specials, and you have to kind of predict what she might do? Like, she almost, like, shrouds her startup. Or you can cancel a Smoke Shroud state into other moves. Like, it's a follow-up, right? One of the follow-ups is a teleport. One of the follow-ups is this airborne thing. And then she does it again. So I'm kind of getting that Yasuo vibe in a way. Because Yasuo's whole deal, pretty much his whole gimmick for majority of his kit is pressing down S1, going into the sheath stance, and then you have all these follow-ups. And then you can cancel anything into that sheath stance, and you could do a lot of things with that. So I feel like that's kind of a similar vibe they're going with on Akali. I'm focusing a lot on her because she is my favorite character. She's my favorite character in League, and oh my god, I can't wait. I cannot wait. She looks cool. I'm kind of warming up the design the more I look at it, because just seeing a new thing was kind of like, okay, that's weird, but yeah, a really good post though. Senna also looks really interesting. Her like visual aesthetic gives me a younger vibe as well. So I wonder if they are going for This is Runeterra before a lot of events that have happened, because we don't know, haven't happened yet. So I wonder if this is like earlier within, or just they took aesthetics and design choices that they thought were something they wanted to go for in their kind of game. Because it really didn't really dawn on me for a while, but Darius does look a lot younger. Also, I want to see her Wraith form. Yeah. So it's her still, and she technically has a Wraith form in League where she just makes a big invisibility field for her and her team. But it looks cool, it looks interesting. And she could, like, cancel a special into, like, a dash, and... Okay, yeah, and she dashes here. Tornado. A lot of gun characters. There are just a lot of gun characters in League. A lot of shoot bangs, right? So, that kind of doesn't surprise me at the same time. I want to look at this one more time. So, I think... Okay. Call me crazy. This move, because it's chargeable, and every character has chargeable heavies, even in the air, I think it's her H, like her jumping H, were I to guess. I'm going to go super deep with this, like, crouching, and then that's... And that's like a medium? Medium? I doubt it's a light. It feels too slow for a light. Into heavy. And then shroud into this, like, pizza cutter. If anyone's played Killer Instinct, like Shadow Jago heavy. And then you get, like, a kick follow-up. I'm gushing. I'm so happy. So, till we get the trailer or any more news, I'm just going to have to sit tight and look forward to more 2X scale.